Hey Flosstube, it's Barbara the Raspberry Stitcher. How are you doing? I am going to be doing a finishes parade for you. So I've got FOs and a couple of FFOs that I did this year. And I've got a couple of items that we did as an exchange. So I wanted to show you all of these beautiful finishes. And I'm so excited to be back. I know I've taken a short break, but that is okay. So this is going to be a 2021 finishes extravaganza, I guess you can call it. So I want to get started because I have a lot to go over. I am going to be putting out a whip parade, and I'm going to be putting out my plans for next year and also some goodies that I have purchased in the meanwhile. And I also want to update everyone on the Jessie Watson sale. So that is still going on. I was not able to figure out the font I wanted for the bottom, so I'll go into that but I have been proceeding on with the other months, so I'm excited to show you my progress on that in another video. So hopefully you'll watch them all. Unfortunately, it's going to be quite a few. I don't want them to be super, super long because uploading takes forever. So if I keep them all individual and shorter, I think it'll be easier, and then you can watch them in snippets whenever you want. So let's get started. I put all of my finishes, I wrote them down so I would have them. I've got my book of days. So just to kind of recap for you, last year I started with 32 whips, and I had made a plan to, instead of a no new starts here, because I don't think I could have done that, I did kind of a modified no new starts. So basically for every 2 whips I completed the stitching on, not FFOing, but just the stitching, I was allowed to have a start. So I pretty much stuck to that. I did give myself some freebies that I knew I would finish that year, like for any of the exchanges, Christmas presents, the first start of the year, obviously, because I wouldn't have earned it. But pretty much after that, or if I was in a like a retreat, I did a couple of online retreats, so those included some pre-stitching and stuff like that. They knew I would get done, and I did. So I was able to finish 15 of the 32, so not quite half. I wanted to get one more done, but I decided to focus, as you know from a couple of previous videos, I had 5 samplers I wanted to get finished. I did get 4 of them finished, so I'm very excited about that. I wish I'd gotten my New Year New Start finished, the Holland Sampler by Jeanette, but that did not quite happen. I'm almost halfway through. I did put the year in it. I'm going to put the finished year in a separate section, and I'll show you that when I go through my whips, because that's what I decided to do. But I did finish 15 of my whips. I actually have a total of 25 finishes, so I actually finished 10 of my new quote starts. So I had 15 of those and 10 of them I finished, so I only have 5 that I'm carrying over. So I now have 22 whips. So I'll be showing those in another, like I said, video. But I feel pretty good about that because I got my original whips down to 17. Yes, I did have a few that I've added, but a couple of those will definitely be done, like the Jessie Watson will be done. I'm doing the cookie exchange. I have not finished that. I realized, and you'll see in my whips, that first time I've ever done this, I started stitching in the wrong orientation of the fabric. So the other day I just stitched out the table because that's kind of the end of the one side. I start left and go to right. I'm left-handed, so I don't know why, but it's easier for me. And I do have enough room, and I think I have enough room for finishing, so I'm going to keep going with that and not have to restart it. I'm really hoping to get the Holland Sampler done this year. I'm going to try to spend a day or 2 each day of the year on it, and then it'll be done probably by the end of the year. And try to think if there was anything. I have Winter Rose Manor and Midsummer Garden. I don't have plans to finish those this year necessarily, but we'll see what happens. Things could change. I have totally different plans this year than I had last year, so it'll be fun. It is definitely not going to be limited in starts. It's going to be let's start everything, so we'll be showing you that later. So I thought I'd give you a short recap on that. I'll probably do that in every one of these videos just to let people know. I do use the Book of Days. I did really, really well in the beginning. I don't use a lot of stickers or anything, but I do write down all of my whips on the first couple of pages. So I had all my whips listed here. Everything that highlighted is what I finished. I am very detailed about what stitching I do in the beginning, like everything I worked on and what part of that I actually stitched. So I did really good, really good, really good. Started to get a little lax, you can see, and then really kind of fell off the bandwagon. Got back on for a little bit in July. August was bad. September was not that great. I tried to do it again. And then literally, I was horrible for the rest of the year. So my goal this year is to do better about getting all this filled out. I was very good about putting in everything on Instagram, so I knew what I'd finished and when I'd finished it. I also have the X-Stitch app, so I do have a lot of that in there. I do have a few things I need to add to that, so I do try to keep track of that. I'll probably spend a little bit each day adding some stuff to that I need to. But the first thing that I finished, which I am going to have to show you in a picture because it was a gift. I'm going to get up my cross stitch finishes here. And I finished, and I don't have the finish actual of the ornament, but I did these last year for my family, and I didn't quite get that one finished, so that was my first finish of the new year, and that is what it looked like. I did pick some of my own colors. This is on 40 count X-Jude fabric called brown paper. So I did these all on a 40 count. They're all good, cute size. I can show you. I finished it similarly to ones that I did the year before. So let me find that for you. Right here. And there we go. So it's finished very similarly to these two. So I finished those two. Very cute. And I ended up finishing this one a little bit differently with that pom-pom trim. So that's how I originally finished those. So that was my first one. And I would love to do them again for myself because they're adorable. And I'd love to get the second set. That's set two. I'd love to get the first set actually. And then what I did with the rest of my whips, because I needed to get that done for a gift and it was a little late, is I pretty much prioritized them into how quickly I could get something finished because I wanted to make sure I had a couple of starts in the bank because for every two, I get one start. So I had this sitting around and I had not finished. This is called Dancing Dragonflies Sewing Set by MTV Designs. So here you go. I used all the called for, the fabric, the linen, and all the threads. And I even got all the extra accoutrements, so I thought I would show you some of those. They're really, really cute. And hopefully this year, my goal would be to, and I put this little, and I'll show you the little bead, put them together. So this are the two pieces for the biscuit. Mostly what I had to do, I think I had a little bit of stitching to finish, but mostly it was all of this back stitching to be able to put these together. So this is the biscuit that we put together. This is the little scissor fob. And then these two pieces, this is for the inside, like little pocket. And then this is all one piece that gets folded in half, like so. So this would be the front, and I put my initials on it. And this would be the back. This one you did not have to sew around, so a couple of them you didn't have to. But I had some of that left to do, and so that was my second finish for the year, was to get all of that together. Then, and that was done in silks, and it was, I think, on a, I want to say 32 count gold by Weeks Dye Works. It looks similar to straw, but this is a bit brighter. Gold is brighter. So the next one I needed to do was the, I had done this as a class and got it as a kit. So the flower tray set by Jeanette Douglas. I believe this is available now. I'm really sad that I didn't originally get the pins. I was not smart. I did not understand how important that was at the time. So if you want the extras, get them while you can. And it was a kit, so it came with all the silk floss on a card. And then all I had to do on this, I think I had a tiny bit of stitching left to do on the drum. And then you can't really see it, but I had to do all the back stitching and outlines on these. And it is so beautiful. And as you can see, I have lots of fabric or floss left over. So here's the actual inside of the tray. That was the drum, the tray. Here you can see all the back stitching I had to do. And then these is for the scissor fob that you stitch together. So I'm hoping that's going to be another item that I will finish. This is the top of the drum, and this is the finishing fabric for the tray. So I have everything to do that with since it was a kit. So hopefully that's another item that I will put on the list to try to finish. Then the fourth item was Summer Harvest by Blackbird Designs. And by the way, I don't know if I said I finished 25 pieces this year, so I feel good about that. So this one I had started. This is Summer Harvest, the Abecedarian series. I have all the charts but one, Rosy Morning, which is my unicorn chart. Someday I'll get it. I do have a friend that has it, so when I'm ready to stitch it, I could, borrow it because it is OP. I'm hoping someday they release it. I would love to have the whole set. I do not plan to sell them though at this point. But I love this one from the beginning. It reminded me of my grandma's. I did it on a darker color. It's similar to Cocoa by Weeks, but it's a little bit redder. It could have been a different. So you can see the difference between the two. I used all the called for colors except this lettering, not all of it. I did outline my initials in the darker color. So you can see B, L, and R, but this one is a different color, and I believe it's Cappuccino by Weeks Dye Works. So that's the only one I did different. So here's that a little closer up. I have it pinned. I don't have a frame for it, but I need to get a frame. The pinning needs a little adjusting. I am nowhere near great at all of that. I'm planning on learning and doing better. I have been definitely influenced by Kim the Contented Stitcher. So she influenced my Christmas gifts this year. So I got a miter saw, I got a pointer, some points, and a tiny little workbench, but we're going to clear out some space in the garage and put in like a solid workbench, and I'll try to make some frames. We'll see how that goes. So then I wanted to show you too, this, I've stitched one other that I finished from the Abecedarian series, which was this one. And it is called Bluebird of Happiness. Mine is slightly different, and I can show you. I did this on a 30 count. Let me see if I can find it. I did change the colors. I mixed it all up. Let me get my finished items here, because I'm pretty sure I put it in here with the finished thing. Maybe I did not. Thought I did. But I believe it's called Corty, C-O-R-T-Y maybe. I do not necessarily like this linen, but it's what I had at the time. I believe it's a 30 count. It's 2/2. I love how it turned out. I made it into an anniversary type sampler. So I have our wedding date here, and I did do our initials in a slightly different color of purple. I did make this a bit more purple instead of mauve. I changed the bird a bit. I brightened it up. So this was a little more lighter pale, as you can see. And then this one is mine. So you can see kind of the difference there. So, so now I have 2 of these finished. I have another one that you'll see in my Whip Parade. I am not happy with it at all. I am literally going to scrap it and restart it. So I'll show you that later. But the other parts of the series are the wild berries, just so you know what the series is. It's not as known, but I really like it. My Heart's, I think it's Design, My Heart's Design. I love that one. Bountiful Harvest, it's gorgeous. Fruitful Vine, Love that one. That one might be the one I do next. The Country Life, just gorgeous. A Friend's House. I'd love to put do my friend's initials and stuff in there. Maybe not even do part of the alphabet. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Mother's Day. It's beautiful. Love that one too. And then Garden Borders. And the last one that I don't have is called Rosy Morning. It's this one right here. It's really cute. The birds in the house. And so anyway, those are those. I thought I would just show you those. Like I said, it's not as known as some of the other series. When I was first starting to stitch, I think that was a series that was kind of just all out and ended. So I had gotten some, didn't realize that I might need to get the rest. So I had quickly gotten some of the others before they stopped producing them. I think a couple of them might still be produced. I'm not sure. But Rosy Morning was the one that's like elusive. Like I couldn't find it anywhere. And when you do, it's like outrageously priced. So I'll just wait. It's fine. All right. So that one I finished. Summer Harvest. Then I did another Blackbird. So I have this series for the birds all kitted up as called for on the fabric with all of the flosses for the whole series. So I had started this one and I finally finished it. So here it is. It's really, really, really cute. And I love doing a lot of Blackbirds because my initial is B, so I never have to change the B if it's a B for Barb because we have the same name. So anyway, I've got that finished. And like I said, I have this beautiful bag. And they are all in here, kitted up with flosses. So I hope to do more of those. I have not decided exactly how I want to do those. There are, I believe, 9 of them, if I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there are 9 of those. I'm really thinking about trying to find a window, an older window, that I could put them all in and then hang them that way. I think that would be really nice. All right, my next one is Sewn in Friendship. As soon as this came out, I wanted to stitch both of them. So the first one I started on was the Plum Street one here, and I kitted it exactly called for on 36 count, and I finished that off. I think it's adorable and love it. So I do have it totally kitted in a bag that I made. For the other side, if you've seen this, which is the Heartstring Samplery side. So I'm excited to stitch that one too. I'll put this back in here so I don't lose them. All right, so that was finished number 6. So number 7, I did the series called Letters for Mom. So it's this series. And if you haven't seen it, they're all monthly. There's that pocket. If you go back in my videos, I show you the whole series because I did the whole series for my daughter and I sent them to her. And it was the year of COVID. It was her freshman year. So she had to come home. So some of them I ended up doing later. But I did finish them all for her and I made this envelope for her. A little bit different fabric, but very, very similar. So we did an Easter/spring exchange. So I used part of this right here, this part right here, to do a pillow finish for one of my remote stitcher friends. And that would be Rebecca, got that one. So let me show it to you because obviously I don't have that one either. And so I will show you some of those pictures. So you can see they're a little brighter color, but I made this tall pillow. You can see the little video there of it. And I put the little buttons on the front, the large rickrack. I wanted to stand up, so it was something different type of pillow and finish. I did the Ivana tutorial on how to do the trim here around She had just done that on some pillows, so I thought, well, let me try it. I did learn that to make it not so pointy on each end, I needed to cut it a little differently next time. So, you know, learning as you go, but I think it turned out really nice, and I think Rebecca liked it too. So that was that one. All right. Then we're going to move on to my Brown Bird Biscornu. First time I've done a Biscornu. So I love these Biscornus by Heartstring Sampler. They are large. They're 101 by 101. I did it on 40 count. It's still a hefty size. So just FYI, if you ever do these on smaller count, it's going to be even bigger. But it is beautiful. As soon as I'd seen it, I wanted to do it. So I had the bottom done. I decided that if I didn't do this bottom, and did the top first, I'd never want to do the bottom. I probably would have just done the top and made a Biscornu, but wouldn't have looked as good. So I started with the bottom and I did it first. So here's the bottom. And I actually fully finished this one. And here's my birds at the top. And I absolutely love it. And you can see this is a hefty size. It is very, very stuffed. Probably I overstuffed it, but I wanted the nice points on each side, and I love how it turned out. I did have to change the bird color. The color had called for, let me see, and I put it in, if you go into my Instagram account, which is the Raspberry Stitcher, I believe it called for apple cider. And my apple cider, I have a couple different apple ciders. I've gone and looked for another one. My apple cider was very, very like caramel colored and not like a chocolate, like the bird here. So I had stitched the whole bird and then took it out because it actually blended in with the other color in the bird. So I needed, like, the two colors that are in here actually looked like the same. So I had to switch that out. So, and I did this on a 40 count platinum, and I plan to do the others. I actually have the Valentine one is actually on the radar. And then I also have the Flanders Fields, and I have her other one, Let Our Gladness. I love both of them. So I'm excited to eventually do those. And I think I'm going to do them all on the same fabric. I really do like this fabric for the Biscornu. And I like the colors. I think all of them will lend itself to that color really well. So, and it doesn't really need an over dyed or anything. I think it's fine. So that is number 8. So I'm excited about that I actually had a fully finished object. Oh, I forgot to show you. I'm going to go back. So the Easter exchange, I want to show you as you went. I want to show you the piece that Rebecca made for me, because I know I didn't finish it, but she did. And it is so beautiful. It is a Blackbird, and I forget which one. I should have looked it up. It's in one of the books, but she made it. She put this beautiful little rose on the back. She did the sew all together and cut in the back, put a beautiful 2021 on there. I love this. I love everything about it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. She put my initial right there. It's gorgeous. I do know she used gingerbread to stitch this on. And I know it's in one of the books. I just can't remember which book. So anyway, I want to show that because it's gorgeous. All right, finish number 9 was Waiting for the Harvest by Blackbird. So this little one here. And I did this on a 32 count 1/2 on Cappuccino by Weeks Dye Works with Espresso Bean by Gentle Arts. And if you go back in my floss tubes, I had a huge snafu with this one. I had it all stitched. I was getting ready to iron on the interfacing. I got done with that, realized I had ironed on the interfacing on the front, not the back. Really bad. I literally about cried. I got it all off, and I think it turned out pretty good. I do have some trim I've thought about putting on this, but haven't done it. I did fill this one with poly and walnut shells, the lizard litter. So it has a little heft to it. And I love it. I really, really like it. I have this beautiful kind of acorn fabric on the back. So I just want it to be fall, not as like Halloween-y. I really like it. So that was my second FFO and FO for the year. All right. Next up is House on Pumpkin Hill. It's a pin keep by Stacey Nash. So many of you have seen it. This is it. I did mine on a 35 count gunmetal by Weeks Dye Works. And I did sub out one color. The straw bonnet, instead of that, I used, because it wasn't very variegated, and I wanted the pumpkins to have a little color, I used roasted marshmallow. So here is that, and I think it turned out fantastic. I have not finished it yet. I do have this fabric I want to use to finish, but I want to cut it up into the size I need, or a little bit bigger. I want to grunge this up a little bit. I think it needs to be a little deeper in color, but I love the actual fabric. And then I have pulled a few trims for this one. I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I have some licorice in a large rickrack. I have licorice in a small rickrack. And then I also have some Grubby Gate ribbon too. So we'll see. I'm not sure how I'm going to do all that. But I will figure it out. So that was finish 10. So number 11 is another black. I did a lot of Blackbird now that I think about it. So this one is Give Thanks. It's one of these sewing box tops, which I do have, I believe, a shaker box that I will be able to put this on. I did this on 30 count linen by Weeks Dye Works. The color is linen. And I did use my own color conversion. I believe I went through some of it in my previous, but I just kind of picked colors that looked like the front of this. I didn't, So this is my finish. And I really think it's adorable. I love it. I think I might put some of the years. I might go back in and put all of my initials somewhere in some of these and the year somehow. I haven't done that before, but I really feel like I want to this year. All right. So next, I participated in Stitch Camp. And that was by Needlework Press. So we got 2 samplers by a boy named George. I think it's Bryce, B-I-E-R-C-E. He did these 2 samplers, and the piece that we did during Stitch Camp was this little pocket here, scissor pocket. I have not fully finished it, and I did change the colors because I love purple. And this is on, I believe, a 36 count. Might have been written it down. Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit. I ended up using Fiberlicious Wisteria and Shades of Purple, and then the Baldani Pasture Green, which she did all Baldani threads for this. So that's what I ended up using. And then on the back, it's going to have that. And then I'm going to be using one or both of these fabrics to do the finishing, which I think will be really, really, really cute and pretty. So I think that'll be really nice with those. So that was finish 11. And I thought I'd show you what else we got with that. So we got those. And it was a really nice done online presentation. There was a lot of other things to it, but I really like how she packaged some things. So I thought I would show you, like one of ours came in like this. And so she had cards for all of it. So this is for this sampler, which this is the sampler I really want to do. And then she had the fabric all nicely bundled up and cards and exactly what was on them. I really, really loved that. So that was pretty awesome. The whole presentation was really, really nice. Very top notch. So, all right, let me move these out of the way. Okay. So that was 12. 13 is the cereal bowl collection. So these are all, it's nicely in this lovely bag that I have bought from Goose. So I have all of these done except one now, and I'm waiting to finish them until I get done. So the one that I just finished this year is number 5. This one right here with the stags. It's kind of a bit Christmassy. This one, I'm trying to figure out, is it this one? This one I got as a kit. So I went to Craft Gallery and they actually had it as a kit with the floss. It was just the pattern and the floss. And I believe it gave the chenille that goes around the edge. I don't know that I'm going to use that one. It's a cream color that's in the back. I have this color pulled. I have that in there. And then I have this pulled too for the backing. So here, and I'm doing all of this on 36 count Regency by Picture This Plus. It's a green fabric. I'm doing all of them on this. So here is my finish, which I think turned out really, really cute. And then I thought I would show you the others. So maybe I should start with number 1. Lesson 1, which I'm gonna, I believe, add my initials in the picture. They have ABC up here. I think I'm just gonna add my initials up there. And here is number 1. These I finished in 2020. This one is number 2. And number 3. So once I get them all done, and I have already pulled fabrics and some trims for all of them right here. Now all I have to do is stitch this one, which is number 3. And I've got Boss's fabric and everything for that ready to go. So that really needs to be somehow put in sometime this year, because I really do want to finish these all up and get them out. They're really cute, and I think these are ones that you could just put out all the time anywhere. So I like that idea. Okay. So that was number 13. So 14 was one of my samplers that I finally got finished. Starting pretty much after the first few, there was hardly anything that had to finish. But pretty much starting with Summer Harvest and For the Birds, those are the ones that probably took a little bit longer. The first few, I finished actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, all the first 6 in January. February, I did the Easter Exchange one. March, I did Brown Bird Bisque New. April, I did Waiting for the Harvest. May, I did House on Keep Hill. June, I did Give Thanks. The Stitch Camp was in June. And the Cereal Bowl lessons I finished in June. And then in July, I finished the Blooming Bouquets Cheerful. So I did this Cheerful one. I have all of these. This one is the one my daughter picked out for me to start with. Don't ask me why, I know it's number 2, but she thought I needed to be cheerful. So I finished that. It's all called for with the silk pack, and it is on 36 count Legacy, which is a little more like a dirtier, it's like a green brown. The Regency is very green. This is not. This is kind of like almost like this. It's very pretty on here. These will fit in an 8x10 frame. So once I get to the point where I get more of them done, I'm going to start looking for frames because I'd like them all to be framed the same. I've started a second one, which you will eventually see. So I was excited to get my first, big sampler done. After that, I did another Blackbird. Yes, I have 3 Blackbird series going. So I have For the Birds, I have the Abecedarian, and I have the Garden Club. So this is number 2 in the Garden Club. I finished number 1 last year. So I'm doing this all called for on, I believe, 32 count, 2/2. I don't necessarily enjoy doing that, but I do love how this looks. So I have every fabric cut, all individual, not together like some people have done, but I am going to do them this way because that's how I started it. I'm not going to change. So I have those in this beautiful big bag. But yes, I have every single one of them kitted up, sorted in this bag. You can see they're all in there with all the fabrics and all the booklets. So not going to change now, no reason to. So, all right. Next, so that was number 15. We are on to number 16, Next Door by Heartstring Samplery. So this was an exchange I did for a getaway that I went to with my Zoom remote stitchers friends. So it was really, really fun. I finished this though in September. I will show you, I did change some things from the original pattern, which I wish I had the original pattern here, but I don't seem to have it. I think that's one I couldn't find right offhand. But if you've watched, I did a recap of that whole weekend on one of my Flosstubes. You'll see that my friend Jane, we did the exchange not knowing who we were giving them to. So we put them all in bags and had our names on the bottom, and people just got to pick a bag and then open it. And then whoever's you opened, they got to pick the next bag. So my friend Roxy picked mine. So she got mine, then I picked. And so I picked my bag. And I stitched this the whole time, really wanting one of these. And it was so great because Jane has stitched the same thing. So this is really the original chart, what it looks like, not the colors. She changed the colors, which I think are beautiful. I love the saying, I wish you lived next door, because I wish all these ladies lived on a long cul-de-sac and we all like were there together stitching. Would be fabulous. So that's hers. And then you'll see mine is a bit different. So I used a green fabric called, and it is on 36 count, and it is Spanish Moss by Fabrics by Stephanie. I changed all the colors and I changed the bird motif here. So I used one of the motifs out of the Brenda Keyes Sampler motif book. So, wrong way. So you can kind of see the trim here is actually the leftover from the pom-pom trim, and I really like how it looks. It's very pale pink, and I put that bright color on the back. See if I can get to, so you can really see there up close of the flower. Yeah, I didn't use any of the original called for, but I love how it turned out. It was really, really fun to stitch. I really enjoyed making it for somebody else. I think this is one that will be going around for a long, long time and be restitched and restitched and restitched for other stitching friends, because it is just, the sentiment is perfect. Beth outdid herself on that one. So this is the one I got. So I am very excited to have my very own. So anyway, that is another finish, not only stitching, but FFO that I did. Then I partook in the Friend Stitch Zoom retreat, and that was amazing. So we had a pre-stitch this year, which was so fun. It was a small alphabet sampler that was fall. I stitched mine a little differently because I chose some colors. I love purples and in with the fall colors because I love purple. So this was my stitch and FFO of this one. And with that little acorn, it's supposed to go on something else. I stitched it on a 36 count instead of 32. And instead of the O, we added this pumpkin. Somebody else did that. So I kind of copied a little bit from them and just kind of switched it up. I added the small pom-pom trim and the rickrack. It's just a little board they gave us. So it turned out really, really cute. I do really love it. So the original, and then during the thing, they kind of went through how to finish this. So that was fun. I finished it as we did the retreat. This was the big piece. And I've actually saved all the colors from this, and they're actually inside here. So I'm going to make mine a little more like this with the colors. And then the other one that we got was this cute owl. And actually he was supposed to have the acorn, but I used it there. And a bunch of people have finished this, and this is really cute. I think this would be really cute for my daughter. She would love it. So that was a fun day. And actually from the previous year, I've gotten to know a group of ladies, and we meet on Tuesday nights for Zoom. So that was really great. All right, then I got my second big sampler done. So this is when I kind of decided to switch times. That was also in September. So the next one, I kind of at that point decided I wanted to finish some of these bigger samplers I had. I really just felt like I wanted to get them done. I was kind of running stagnant with my whips. I felt like the amount of time I had to put into those would be so much that it would take away from finishing some of my big samplers that I wanted to get done. So I kind of switched gears a little bit and decided I had 5 samplers I wanted to finish. So I wanted to finish Though He Seemed Sleeping, What Remains Is Love, and Morrison, Jane Fittest, and the Holland Sampler by Jeanette Douglas. I got 4 of those done from basically September on. So I'm very excited about that. So the first one that I ended up finishing was Though He Seemed Sleeping. I actually had started that this year. So I started that that was a February first start. And I ended up finishing it on 9/20. All of my own conversion. She gives you a conversion for DMC and all the 3 major overdyed threads. And you can pick whatever you want. So if you go to the Facebook page for this, you will see all the different, I mean, literally so many different versions of this with the different threads and colors. It's amazing. So I would, if you like this chart, I would definitely go look at those because it will definitely give you inspiration on what you want yours to look like. I just picked it one day. I mean, it probably took me an hour to pick all these threads because there are quite a few, but it makes it so beautiful. I did this on a 40 count by Exude brown paper. And this is my finish of Though He Seemed Sleeping, and I am in love with it. The colors, just the look. It was a very fun, relaxing stitch, especially doing the border. It was the same over and over, except for in the corners. A lot of letters, so that is always relaxing to me. I definitely enjoy doing all the little tiny motifs down there. I added a lot more, like some purples in there, the greens. I took out a lot of the oranges. I'm not a big orange person, so those came out for me, and I added in more of the purples and different things. So there you go. Here's that one. So that was my first big sampler finish. That, like, with those 5. Then I went on to finish in October 7th. I finished What Remains Is Love. And I should look and see when I did start that this year. That was an exclusive from Traditional Stitches. And I started that in June 5th. And I finished that in October 7th. And this picture doesn't do it justice. I did get 40 count, and I did get the Amy Mitten silk conversion from them at the time, and I'm so glad I did. It's stunning. It's on Straw by Weeks Dye Works, and I absolutely love it. Yes, I do know they haven't finished the year. This is going to be a special stitch that I will finish later. But for now, it is completed. All I need to do is add the year. I may add a couple of little motifs here or there later, but I haven't decided on that. But I'm calling it finished because I can't really finish it right now. But it will be finished later. And this was just such a beautiful, beautiful pattern that Alma did. I'm pretty sure she's the one who designed this one, if I am correct. I'm going to double check though, but it is absolutely stunning. I love everything about it. Yes, it was designed by Alma and stitched by her. So it's amazing. I will show you later. I used the words, sentiments, to make my own small little pillow sampler for a friend. Okay. So, I'm sorry if you're hearing my dog. She's back over here snoring. And I have laundry going. Then I finished Anne Morrison, and I was so excited to finish this. I did not finish it with everyone else on time. I don't think. I can't remember if I finished this on time or not, but I did finish it on 10/14. This was started last year as a SAL with the Facebook group page, and this was an exclusive by Traditional Stitches. Did we start that this year? I don't think so. I thought it was started last year. I think it was started in December, if I'm correct. I think this was like a December start. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's when it was started. So anyway, double click here. And I did mine on a 46 count Goblin King by Dixie Sampler with the 103 silks. And I absolutely love it. I will say I got slowed down by the eyelets because I did do 16 leg eyelets. But it's so, so, so pretty. And the only thing I did change is up here, these were a darker brownier color. I added the 2 different colors. I alternated and of the peach to bring some of that peachy color up into there. So, and I know that this light blue doesn't show here, but in person it shows up fine. So that was the third of the 5 that I got finished. Then I did another exchange for Christmas time. Oh, actually, let's go back. Then it's my Remembrance Stitch. So I took the What Remains is Love phrase. I had some college friends and high school friends, actually. I met them in high school. They had been together since high school, and they've known each other since elementary school. And she unexpectedly passed away. So I made my friend a remembrance stitch for her with those words because I felt like it was just very poignant. And when we went to the Mass, it was even more so. So I will show you some pictures. I took motifs out of the Brenda Keyes sampler book. I adjusted some. I changed some. I added her initials. I added their pets. So they have a cat and a dog at the time. And I just tried to add things that I thought were nice and that he would like. And I tried to think of colors and things that she would like. So, so I made this piece right here. Of course, I had to give it. So I just got pictures. So she loved florals. So these are all florals. I changed the cross that was originally in the book to a different cross that was in the book. Her initials, the border, I did, look that up a little, if you can see it, is a heart border, just a very simple heart border. I will say I designed this as I was stitching. So I started over here with the bird and the berries. I put a little like raspberry in for myself. These are their dog and cat. I made a beautiful little motif here of hearts for them and their eternal love. Put What Remains is Love in a different font. But this is the whole piece. And picked colors as I went. And then I had this beautiful floral backing for it. I had to do that very quickly. Literally, I started it, I think, on the 26th, and I had it done by the 30th of October, so I could give it to him at her funeral service. So that was a little start and finish that meant a lot to me, and hopefully he will have and mean a lot to him. So, all right. And then after that one, I did a Christmas exchange piece. So I have pictures of it again. So I decided to make a strawberry for the first time, and I really thought from the Deck the Halls book that this one would be adorable and Christmassy, but not over Christmassy. And I used a call for fabric. Plus, it was one that I had enough fabric to do for myself again and for my exchange. Let me find the pictures, which are supposed to be in here, but are not. I thought I had everything in a folder. Actually, I probably have it in my finishes folder. No, I do not. You know, you prep for these things, and you still forget stuff. Here it is. So this is the strawberry I made. And I used some antique lace that when we went to the getaway, a friend, Ray, had a bunch of it. And so a lot of us picked some up. And then I just used some of Lady Dot's ribbon to put on top. So that was that piece. And I think it turned out great. And I think she really liked it. So that was awesome. Then I moved on to this way. I had stitched one of the berries and blooms by Hands On Design. And I'm going to fold this over so you can see it. This is a freebie from Hands On Design if you go to her blog. And it might be on her website too. Check there. I did change the colors. I used Classic Colorworks Cherry Tomato, Mistletoe. I used Wheat Dye Works Aztec Red, Emerald Chestnut, and I used Gentle Arts Bayberry, Schoolhouse Red, and then I used Wheat Dye Works Whitewash. You could just use white, but I had some, so I did that. I ended up, and I have some pictures of one of them that I finished. I ended up using some Lady Dot Creates the Shanty and the Sequoia here to do the finishing. I did it on 36 count Tiffany blue from Fabrics by Stephanie. So here is one of them stitched. I ended up stitching 2 of them. I would plan to do 7, but some things happened. A family member who ended up going into the hospital. It just got too overwhelming. So I had one from last year, and I finished these 2 this year. I have not FFO'd them yet. This is the backing fabric. I have another backing fabric that I might use too, but this is the one I'm going to do these with. So that looks cute. I'm just going to wrap them around some board, cinch them up together, and I stitch them, whip stitch them together. And then I as I was doing that, I put the ribbon in to hang it with, and then I stitched on the actual trim. So I have some pictures of that, and actually I think one of them is missing. See if here we go. So here's the one I finished and gave to my mother-in-law, and I think it turned out really, really cute. And there's the back. So adorable. Absolutely adorable. And I want to thank Lady Dot, Lois, because I had placed an order and it was going to get here in time to, because I realized I had one package of these, and I realized I may need more than one. It's the Shanty pom-poms, and it was a perfect color. I mean, it is honestly like the perfect color for these berries. And she sent my order, and those 2 were missing, but she gave me a ribbon, and there was just a mix-up. Things happen, but she was so good and got the others out. Literally, I messaged her. She answered me right back. She got the missing pieces out right away, because I'd also ordered some of that grubby for the berries too, the strawberries, because I wanted more of that to finish those with, and she just got them out so quick, and they were here and in time. I just didn't get them finished in time, but that is what I'm going to use. Got this in this gorgeous bag, because I have some other things in here. Christmas items. I like to put all of that stuff together, so it's there. All right. And then my last finish, my piece de resistance for my samplers was Jane Fittest. I started this on my birthday in 2020 with the Sal. This is the first Hands Across the Sea sampler I've ever started. It is a challenging sampler to start as your first, especially because there are so many specialty stitches. Most of them I had done. I had not done stem stitch. I had not done the turkey work or gorgeous stitch. There is some 1/1 in here. The double running stitch is similar to back stitch. I had never done it the way you do a double running stitch, so that was a little different. Those are all of these little things up and through here. So it definitely was challenging. I've done a plat stitch before. I've done eyelets before. I've done satin stitches before. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else in here. So anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed this stitch, but I'm so happy that she's done. Obviously, I did not get her done for the finish in July, but at least I got her done in that same year. And I did all the stitches, which I'm really proud of myself for doing the turkey work. I had started it and I had a snafu that happened on the back, and I was really like, I should just give up. Like, this is not going to happen. But I decided, no, just keep going, do this one side, because there's two different sides of the lawn that have the turkey work in them, and see what happens, just see what it looks like. And I did, and I'm really glad I did. And I got a rhythm going once I had learned what to do. This is on 46 count. Actually, it's a 45 count by Sassy Fabbies, who no longer dye anymore, called Raffia Cream. And it is a gorgeous peachy color, which is absolutely perfect for these Scottish samplers, I think. It just really brings out the colors and it makes it really bright. So here is my finish for Jane Fittest. I'm so excited. I love everything about her. I'm going to show some close-ups of this one because I have not. This is the first time you have all seen her finished. I stitched this with the Dalgé silks. And so that was a bit of a challenge on 46 count, I will say. Especially the 1/1. There's times when I did a tent stitch, and there are times when I had to do a full cross, especially in her name. So because her name, if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to really read it. So I will show you the top here. So you can see the double running stitch around these letters. The satin stitches here, they're kind of a padded, I kind of made them a little padded. These are all eyelets. Now this sampler, I did only do an 8-leg eyelet. I did not do a 16. I'm not sure why, but it's what I did. This is falling, sorry. And then you have the 4-sided stitch. I forgot about that. And I did try to do that as kind of a 2-sided. I went ahead and challenged myself to see if I could do it kind of 2-sided. So you're going to see my back. I'm going to show you. So here is the back of that 4-sided stitch. So you can kind of see in here, this is the 4-sided stitch right here, and that's the back of it. So most of them turned out pretty good. So that was a little challenge. I did give myself that extra challenge. I just wanted to see if I could do it and think that way. Once you get started, it's really not so bad. You know, you do kind of like pick that up. So here and here are some of the plat stitches in those diamonds and the tree. Those turned out really nice. There are some mistakes in here. It's okay. This flower over here, I'll even tell you, is supposed to be symmetrical. If you really look at it, it's not. I was off and I wasn't going to rip everything out. So I just adjusted. This beautiful parrot here, the top here is all over 1. Down here with some of his feet is over 1. That was a real bear down here. I will say that I had to rip out like 3 times before I got it right. Okay, on this side, this tree, somehow I was off over. You'll see it's not symmetrical here. I think it was supposed to be. I wasn't going to rip it out. I adjusted. The dog is like a little bit too close to it, but it's fine. Not going to take all of it out. Just wasn't going to do it. And you'll see Jane, some of this is over one. So some of these I had to do as full and some were half stitches for the over one so you could really read her name. Okay, and of course, then the beautiful house. So let's look at that house because it is stunning. Full coverage there. The turkey work here. I did actually go back through like each section, especially down in here to make sure I had stitched every stitch. Hopefully I didn't still miss any. I did actually miss these two here. I think I missed a red spot over here. I mean, there are a couple things here. And then on one of these, I forgot, I actually did it in blue instead of the gold on the outside. So I just went over it in the gold. I don't think you can even tell. So there's that. The stem stitches in here in this bird. I think that turned out really pretty. And then of course the turkey work. So I'll lay it like this so you can kind of see some of this turkey work. So here is the plush pile of the turkey work. So I'm really proud that I stuck with it. I think I probably went a little too far over here because it does cover up a little bit of the stuff, but I'm okay. It's okay. So this one will be professionally framed. The rest of them I'll probably frame myself. But this one I would like to have professionally framed just because of the turkey work and how much effort I did put into this one. And it's really a little special to me. I mean, everything about this one I love, 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 love. I have a couple of other Scottish samplers that I want to do. I'm definitely drawn to them. Their color, how full of stitches they are. They're usually packed full like this. So I love that about them. There's just something about, they use a lot of different stitches. So anyway, there she is. There is Jane in all of her glory. And I can't wait to save some money to get her framed. So that was number 25. And I ended up finishing that, let's see, what was that? 12:30, so right under the wire. Believe me, I worked for a couple of days straight on that because I had put it down because the turkey work, I was frustrated with it and decided to pick it up. And I was like, yes, I'm going to get it done. So the only one I did not finish of the 5 was the Holland Sampler, which I'm about halfway through that sampler. So it is on a 32 count, so I could get that done pretty quickly. So I have another exchange, which I don't even know if I wrote down now. Let's see, maybe I do have 26 then. Oh no, the Deck the Halls, I wanted to show you, I forgot to show you. I made that, my friend, so we had that Christmas exchange, holiday exchange, and my friend Mary from my group made me this beautiful scissor pocket. So I wanted to show everyone this with all the accoutrements here, and it's both sides. Beautiful scissors she gave me. And then look, the inside is fully lined, hand stitched. It's gorgeous. The whole, it's just gorgeous. So Mary, thank you for that. And she got me this cute box. I love this box. It's actually purple. It's like the blue purple. So I still have it in there right now. So thank you. That was my 3rd exchange I did this year. I did 3 of them. I did finish, I wanted to show you my FFOs that I fully finished this past year. So that is all of those. The first one I did was by Lindy Stitches Tom Turkey. He is so cute. I bought the whole kit. I was very lucky. She had this at Galleria a couple of years ago as kits, and then she saved some of the kits to sell on her Facebook group page that year, and I was lucky enough to get one. So I stitched it up and, oh, he's upside down, and put him together, and I love him. It came with everything but the stuffing and obviously the threads. It did not come with the threads. But I think I had most of the threads. Maybe it came with a couple threads. I can't remember. But I know I changed this color out because I didn't quite have the right color. But it's the same effect. I don't think it looks, you know, it looks pretty much the same. I did do what I call fussy stitching. So I didn't want this to be zigzagged across. I wanted to make like sections of color. So I kind of stitched that so it would be like that instead of across and give a better effect for his little rump there, whatever it is. But he is so adorable. He is so fun. And this is the backing fabric that was with the kit. So the other one I did, which is by Lindy Stitches also, I started this quite a while ago. This one was a stitch for, inspired really from my son, and anyone who really has a child with any like difficulties, you get a little bumped and bruised, let's just say. Mine was definitely that way. So this one really called out to me. I've actually bought it at the retreat. I got the Blooming Bouquets tray at. So it was I started it in 2019 because that retreat was in 2019, and I finished it last year in June of 20, and then I fully finished it this year. So this is called A Mother's Heart is Black, A Mother's Heart. So this is the actual, and I think with the help of Vanna, again, her tutorials, if you have not looked at them, they are the best. So I looked at tutorials for the ruching. I did have a little snafu when I was doing the template, so that you get a template to cut the heart out. Mine got shifted somehow because I know I had it pretty centered. So you can see it's a little off center, but I decided just to put my bow there, and it kind of makes a nice place to lay the bow, because the ruching you do all the way around, and so this is where I started it and did, and then the leftover you just make the bow out of. I will say ruching is not for the faint of heart. It took me a few days to do this ruching because every little section and pleat is stitched down. So it's not going to go anywhere. You can touch it and feel it. I did I think Stephanie had a finishing kit at the time for this. So I bought the backing fabric and the ribbon at the same time. And this ribbon is all one piece. So I just went around and I pinned and pinned and pinned it all the way around and fussied the pinning until I got a look that looked nice. And I'm very, very, very happy with it. So, and this was most of the called for colors. I believe I changed, let me look and see because I have it on my phone. I changed, didn't use Black Crow. I used Weekstory Works Fathom, and I used a 32 count PTP Mercedes Lugana. First time I used Lugana, I will say I had a hard time stitching on Lugana. It seems so difficult to know where all the holes were. You guys who stitch on that all the time, like kudos to you, because I don't think I could. It's a thicker fabric, so just a different type of fabric than linen, very different. I loved everything about this. It's so pretty. So I have that. That was an FFO this year. So there you go. I had recap 25 FFOs, fully stitched finishes. And then I did, which I guess I should figure out, 7 FFOs this year. Not very many FFOs. I'd like to do a bit more next year. That would be definitely something that I am going to work on, is getting more things fully finished. That is one reason I asked for Christmas what I asked for, so I could do some framing of my own, because there's no way I could send everything out to be framed. I don't have the money to do that. A lot of us don't. But I definitely can stuff and sew and hopefully do some chopping like Kim does. If you've not seen the Contented Stitcher, she does a great job of buying frames, refurbishing them, cutting them, and fitting them to her pieces. So I'm going to work on that and see if I can do some of that too. All right, that's it for now, guys. So this is my 2021 recap of all of my finishes, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and definitely come back and be kind. Bye for now.